I'm very glad to be joined now by Chris Riviere, who is Director of Systems Engineering at the Riverbed Performance Management Unit. Hello to you.
Glad to be here.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about the Riverbed Performance Management, or RPM, story?
Sure. So where RPM, or Riverbed Performance Management, came about is essentially a combination of application performance management, or APM, and network performance management, or NPM. As you may have heard, Riverbed acquired OPNET Technologies for $1 billion in December, and OPNET had leading APM solutions. So what RPM is the combination of the industry-leading APM and NPM solutions coming together.
Now, what are the benefits that RPM offers to organizations?
Sure. So some of the benefits that RPM offers is lots of times we see when there's, as applications are becoming more complex, environments are getting more complex, things are migrating towards the cloud, relying on a lot of third-party vendors, it becomes very difficult to troubleshoot issues when they occur in these complex environments. So what we often see is when someone complains about an issue within the company, we see lots of firefighting, and the network team gets involved, the server team gets involved, the DBAs get involved, the developers get involved, and everybody has this kind of siloed approach looking at their own set of tools. And then what we see is there's lots of finger pointing. So you have the organization spending lots of times blaming each other without actually getting to the root cause of the issue. So what our solutions provide is complete visibility for these issues. And we start with looking at end user experience. So when someone calls in with an issue, we can immediately see who the users that were affected, what they were doing, what their experience was, and then more importantly, get to the relevant cause of that issue. And then most importantly, provide the necessary information to get to the root cause of that issue. But the real benefit there is that you have a consolidated tool set that everyone is looking at, as opposed to each team looking at their own individual tools.
And problems would be typically, your clients would say, oh, it's running very slow, or what would the typical problems be?
Sure, the most common one is probably people complaining that items are slow. And if you look out there, that's absolutely critical. In terms of business's bottom line. If people can't go to Google and Google's slower than it normally is, what are people going to do? They're going to go to their Google's competitor, and Google's going to lose out on all that the associated ad revenue.
So how does this end-to-end visibility set you apart really from your competitors?
One of the things that kind of sets us apart is lots of people look to Gartner, one of the leading analysts out there, who does their own third-party research on all the different companies that have these different solutions. And so they've come up with this magic quadrant, if you will, for application performance monitoring, where they've broken it up into various sections. The leaders quadrant is where people strive to be. And if you look at the most recent quadrant there, you'll find that OPNET technology, now Riverbed, is an absolute leader in that quadrant. In parallel to that, there's another magic quadrant for WAN optimization, which Riverbed is the only leader in. So taking a combination of leaders in those quadrants is giving us unparalleled visibility into clients' environments.
Well, Chris Riviere from Riverbed Performance Management, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.